We'll see. Statement game, though, I think, for Cruscata, if he can perform well in this one. You know, coming in and playing the newly released mid-champ and performing well would be a very good look. And I think it honestly is a pretty good Hui game. There's not a lot of threat onto him and can definitely punish the shorter range. I think we'll have to be careful of this Ryze Xin Zhao combo early because that is enough threat that you might need to give up priority on the mid wave. And if you do have to give up priority in the mid wave, your bot lane can be in trouble as that Ryze and Xin Zhao move down the river, especially post 6. That being said, Hui has a lot of wave clear, so maybe even if you are somewhat vulnerable, you can still clear the waves from far enough away that it won't matter. So it could be something they look for.
Now, I'm not so knowledgeable on Hui. Do the runes look correct to you?
Yeah, they look pretty good to me. I think Comet, by far the most common, is just you got a lot of slows in your kit, so it's easy to guarantee. I'm a little surprised that he's gone for the biscuits. A lot of the time on Hui, they go for DMAT just so they can kill the wave a lot quicker. Just allows you to one-shot it with the QE a lot easier, but Level 1, it is an invade from West Point, so they will attempt to split the map and play for this Kalista and Renata, which is a good start for them. I think having the split map here is pretty nice, but it also means that Cruscata will be very safe from any ganks, and it's also very unlikely they'll be able to 4-man bot. But it does mean that bot lane will get their isolated 2v2 and should also receive a little bit of gank pressure from the Xin Zhao.
Yeah, and one thing I want to touch on, going back to runes as well, as Rally has opted to go Arcane Comet against the Akali in the top lane. Does give you a little bit more extra sort of poke damage. If you land a Q, the Arcane Comet's going to land. If you land your W, it should land. Renyi, though, looking for his first gank here and is going to connect there, but shouldn't be a whole lot found. A lot of damage, though, from Ching9 on the Kalista.
They're very difficult. That bot bush does make playing red side bot lane pretty hard. 665, he's going to trade away in the top side, but there's never going to be a play that you can make onto Rel here. It should just be too safe under his tower. In the meantime, bot can continue to be pressured after these camps from the Xin Zhao.
Yeah. Taco, lane's not in the best position, but he's able to get it in.
And Tide's pretty low. Xin Zhao's on his way by. If Ryze could somehow get prior of a mid and come down here, it would be good, but it feels unrealistic. Instead, though, Xin Zhao's going to look for the dive. Vi is not here yet, but she's actually just crushing straight bot. So 665, he's on his way.
They don't necessarily have to get a kill, but denying this minions from Tide will be very, very impactful. That's going to be the cleanse used, the flash also used. It's followed up, though, and first blood now found from Renyi. Statement game for him as well here on the Xin Zhao, and a lot of minions lost now for Tide in this bot lane.
Yeah, that's very, very costly, and especially because 665 actually gave up the top camps to try and path bot to defend this dive, but he got here slightly too late, and so it cost them very, very heavily, as now Lucian is really in the struggle city. I mean, down 20 CS, lost the plate as well, and a ton of XP, so not the start the DCG's bot lane would have wanted. It is just going to be very difficult. I mean, playing this hard weak side here, probably just needed a leave, but at the same time, they felt safe, right? Because the Vi is on her way bot. It just was a bit too late. And they left pretty much as soon as they could. Was there a way to get out here? Maybe if Tide had committed flash. Yeah. Could have flashed this. Could have also flashed somewhere in here a bit earlier.
Yeah.
And at that point, really is the worst case scenario because Vi spending all that time to not find anything is definitely not good as Relia. It takes a lot of damage there. Is the Ignite on the Sakali as well, so needs to be a little careful. Now, he does have Nullifying Orb, I believe, because there's nothing else really to take on Aatrox, but yeah, it's still a lot of all-in threat that can come out.
For sure, and Taco seemingly having a pretty good time for himself up here in the top lane. Not overly surprising, this guy has been a really solid top laner the entirety of the summer split. Really was able to put a lot of games on his back, but this bot lane is in an absolute state of affairs.
Yeah. Especially because that wave should...
Ooh. He's gone, and anyway, he does have the Ignite, as you pointed out. Q3 lands from Rally, though, and now Taco's the one in trouble. Actually able to get out. Movement speed from that passive.
Yeah, has him himself a nice little CS lead, and with that mid and top priority currently, 665 will come and start up these Void Grubs, so those should be secured. In the meantime, though, bot lane will continue to suffer.
This is a solo queue game that I get put AD carry in.
Does look pretty unfortunate. Looks like the Dragon will be the trade. Taco's level 6.
Wow.
Nice. Well played.
This guy can play Akali.
Yeah, gets a nice little solo kill up in that top lane, which is pretty nice. I mean, Taco, he did really well all last split. I think he actually had maybe the most solo kills or tied for the most solo kills.
Yeah, I think it was tied for the most solo kills. And I think it was with Arja, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. So very impressive that he's already off to a good start here. And I think also very important is that Rallia didn't manage to get the Hex Drinker on first base. Obviously just didn't have enough gold. We'll get a replay of it. So Taco, with this crashing wave, does manage to hit 6 first. Has the Ignite as well. So if he can commit that early before Rallia gets the healing, it's going to be hard. I wonder, did he just use a Q? Is that what caused Taco to go? Yeah, so the moment he used Q, Taco knew he could kill. I think Rallia there, you have to CS the wave without using Q. In the meantime, though, back in live, bot lane is getting dived.
Renyi might go down, though. It's going to be tower tanked up. But 665 is going to be on the hunt. Should be going down. It is going to be 1-for-1 trade, but very importantly, it's going to be this Lucian losing more and more minions. Actually has opted for the support item, so
yeah,
likely to be the Blood Song on the Lucian. And I guess he will be down in gold, but by the end of the game, Orca will be up in gold on the support counterpart.
Yeah, I think it's a smart choice, actually, especially once you're this far behind.
Yeah.
So he might have been planning to do it anyway, because we have seen, I think, a couple Lucians in pro play go for the Blood Song, but I like it here. Let's see how this dive happened.
Actually dodges everything.
Yeah, Vi once again on her way, but is just, very slightly late to the play, and those couple seconds make a big difference. Tide, he cleanses the Ignite pretty much immediately, but is just absolutely one-shot. Fortunately, those 665, I mean, he cleans up one, so better than none, but you feel pretty bad here as Tide.
Yeah.
Oh, perhaps looking for another solo kill.
Does pop the World Eater. Taco will connect with the Shuriken. Does not have ult. Wait,
his ult timed out.
Well, yeah, he timed out his ult. Misplay, but he might still just be able to get it, although Renyi on the way does dodge out of that Q3.
Yeah, he was trying to hold it to get the maximum execute, but it did just time out.
Yeah.
So a little bit unfortunate. It was very, very close. Still, though, he forces him back. And I wonder if Rallia gets now has the Hex Drinker, you feel like he probably is pretty impossible to kill at this point. But
there's a man to make it happen.
Yeah.
So do we think it's going to be the Storm Surge Rush Akali?
Well, he has a Ruby, so maybe not.
Riftmaker?
Could be Riftmaker. I mean, we see the Proto Belt sometimes, but maybe if you're up against a tank, you go something like the Riftmaker Leandris. He has got the Conqueror, so it could make sense. We'll see what he ends up going for.
Yep, definitely. Riftmaker and item Akali once upon a time did used to build, and of course Riftmaker. It got changed, but I think in general the power of it is higher now than it was before.
Definitely, yeah. Very strong item at the moment. Everywhere else, though, things are pretty quiet. Lucian is still suffering in the bot side, but honestly, he is going to be able to claw back a lot of this gold, and I hope they keep checking us in with the gold, as we're going to get a replay on the top plays. So, Taco, he already committed E, so that is a lot of damage missing. Although Rallia, I think after using the Q3, Taco realizes, okay, well, the wave is on my side. I have the ability to chase him down. Was always going to be a bit ambitious because he doesn't have the Ignite, which is a lot of missing damage, but he does manage this pretty well. Yeah, unfortunately, the R timed out. He knew.
I think he could have just used it here.
Yeah, I think he didn't want to dash too far away. But yeah, I don't know. Tough choice.
Yeah, definitely. But he made the right decision to not continue following, obviously, with Renyi. Coming up, would have likely spelled his demise, of course, no flash. Ult will connect here from Hui.
Or maybe the QW. Yeah, forces the flash. Very nice play there. Yeah. Hui's doing good. Like I said, I think Hui should punish this short-range Rise pretty well, as long as he doesn't get ganked too much by the Xin Zhao. Rise will be going for that Rod of Ages, but is going to be very delayed in getting there. Only just now has the Catalyst, and also delayed his build with the Null Magic there, so it's going to take a while as Renyi comes to start up these Void Grubs. It is on Vision, though, but with that bot priority, I think it will just be given over to West Point.
Yeah. For sure. And it's just going to be an even 3-for-3 trade in general with the Void Grubs, so nothing really that impactful. I think in general both teams aren't too concerned with the additional couple hundred true damage that you'll do to a tower. Now, Nuli has gone bot lane, and they have put the Callista and Renata in mid. And I honestly feel like out of all the mid champs, Hui's probably one of the best to deal with it.
Yeah.
And so you shouldn't feel too bad. This looks like it's going to be a dead Rallier. Does have Flash available, does also have the World Eater, and doesn't know 665's out. This is a dead.
Yeah, has that strength.
Yeah, Ignite as well. Cease and Desist should come out. Actually, it's not even going to be needed. Double active on the Shuriken. It's going to be 665 who picks it up.
Nice kill there, as looks like West Point will take this opportunity to trade on the bot side. But this does give a little bit of time, you know, for Lucian to get back into the game. I wonder if it would have been better just to force a dive onto bot lane here rather than going for the drag, because it feels like snowballing this Callista is super, super important for her to be able to play in this game. Nice trade comes out of the way there, gets the trap, followed up by the QW. And maybe Milio can be found here. Zinzal, he's on his way bot side.
Count the bot ganks.
Yeah. It's getting pretty ridiculous. Vi will not be here, but maybe can look for something on mid. Nully's very tanky, though. Has a lot of magic resist. Frescata wants to get aggressive. And it looks like they're going to try force this. I wonder if it's too forced up. I'm not sure they actually have the damage.
They do have the ult. If ult connects, and it should because of Cease and Desist. Going to land everything. This is going to be one dead Rise.
Commits the flash.
Going to be the one that picks it up. Feels very, very good.
Yeah, I'm glad he committed the flash. I think kind of had to, just to ensure the kill. But that's really, really good. I mean, stopping Rise from being able to begin his scaling is really, really important, as Frescata...
He stays a little bit too long there, getting a bit greedy for a tower plate. Does manage to get out, but it is going to cost him. As Ching9 as well, the roam committed by Char9. Does mean that heal will be lost on this Callista.
Frescata does pick up that Seraphs, which I really like. Not sure what he's going to go for next, but he's got a lot of CDR already, which I think is what Hui absolutely loves. And a good look for him in game number 1, currently up almost 20 CS there in the mid lane, and he's definitely doing well for himself. Nully was a pretty good mid laner last split, so definitely no slouch in the mid lane. And bot lane Tide, importantly, is starting to claw his way back into this game. In fact, it might even pressure the enemy bot lane here.
He's also sold the support items, so he is able to farm at will without obviously that farm punish. And here comes his hostile takeover. Will connect onto Tide, but Breath of Life does mean that not too much damage will be put onto 665 there by this Lucian.
They do just force him away. Mid tower is taking quite the beating. This is, remember, even without a Herald, this is just the extra Void Grubs damage plus a lot of wave clear that comes out of Frescata. Allows him to always be hitting this tower. So that's a lot of gold picked up. And he should be feeling pretty good about his position. It's looking good for DCG. They're up a lot of gold, even despite how far behind their bot lane fell early. And I think you might even feel at this point that Lucian may just be more impactful than Callista. I think if Callista is played well and if they get good value out of the ults, Callista will probably outperform. But I think it's a lot easier for the Lucian Milio just to do what they do best and, you know, play very aggro, especially on mid waves, and make that Callista really have trouble.
Yeah, and it's very hard to play Callista into the Vi as well.
Yeah.
And of course, Taco. And honestly, Akali, with as long as there's some lockdown, it's very easy for Akali to ensure your death. And Taco certainly is very far ahead. A lot of gold up in tower plates, as you're seeing there on your screen. And it is importantly the bot lane here of West Point really keeping them in the game in that regard.
Now DCG starting up this Herald. They could drop it mid pretty much immediately, as that mid tower has always taken so much damage. And that Culling comes out. Char, he's taken pretty low.
Oh yeah, Char's going to be going down. Will be taken out. Ult does connect here from Frescata as Rally is trying to find the damage. But it is ultimately going to be one kill picked up here. Tide starting the game very rough, been ganked 13 times, but is able to find himself a kill. Looks like they're headed towards this mid lane tower now. Renier waiting in the wings, but will be spotted on a ward.
That is the first tower picked up, though, in only 15 minutes. While it is 2 dragons to West Point, it is DCG. They have a fairly sizable gold lead. And this Rise is still at 15 minutes, does not have his Rod of Ages even beginning to stack. So that's very, very late. And you wonder if you're even going to get the time in this game, because I think already... Oh. Okay, he got in it. He's driving.
And there we are. Char will be there to receive the brunt of it. Here comes hostile takeover. Shouldn't mean a whole lot. Shuriken will connect onto Char, but a little bit deep under the tower there to commit anything as Nully teleports in. Bit of a wasted teleport there.
I have to say, I love Frescata's build. He's going for the Leandry second. He's got as much CDR as he can get. I think this is the best Hui build, and I actually haven't seen many people build it. I think there's a lot of Malignance addicts out there, so I'm really glad to see someone like Cascada building like this. Maybe you're right. Maybe he saw enough of Mission going Luden Shadow Flame no matter what and decided, well, I can make some mid builds of my own.
Heard of the Shock LOL YouTube channel?
I have not. Okay, so now third dragon is 20 seconds away. I think DCG should be much stronger around this, but they definitely do need to pick it up. I think stopping this drag win condition pretty much closes West Point out of a easy win con already. The engage is found.
Engage does come through. This is going to be cease and desist used on Renier here, and at worst he has a respawn, but in fact it's just going to be picked up the 1-for-1, 1-for-0 even, 665 going down. Nothing to answer. Fate's call was committed there to ensure Char's safety.
Yeah, I think enough was used there that DCG should still be able to maintain control. And in fact, they might go for more than that as the culling comes out.
Is absolutely demolishing Ching, and he's going to be able to get away. A little bit of help from the Rune Prison there out of Noli, but this is the Lucian that got tower dove while 2 waves were crashing, and then dove again, and then ganked another 3 times. That is just coming out absolute king in these mid waves.
Yeah, I think the Lucian Milio, all the Lucian army combos on that mid wave are very, very difficult to deal with. And importantly, that dragon didn't get taken down there by either team, so they're most likely going to look at it again. Cascada almost has his ult back. Unfortunately, did not land it in that previous fight, but very important as way that you fight with your ulti. It's just so key for adding a ton of additional CC and damage to the team fight. He's going to push out bot, and then it looks like they will just start up the drag. And it should be theirs, as Renier is on the top side. He grabs that red. Is he going to path down? I feel like if you're West Point, you may want to just force this dragon fight, just because it feels like your best way back into this game is to force a dragon win con. That being said, you are far enough behind that it might not be up to you.
Sure.
Aatrox is coming, though. Rally is pathing here. They want to fight this. Will it be too late? Taco also has some great TP flank wards, so they need to be very careful, West Point. I don't know how hard you want to commit to this.
Yeah, 665 very trapped in the pit at the moment. Obviously does have that Vault Breaker, which can move. And I don't think West Point are aware of how low this dragon is. It does just go over. Char will be found there by the Vault Breaker as Renier goes in, commits the flash out of Vi. Culling as well will be stopped. Char getting very, very low. And comes the fight. It is just going to be 665 going down very, very quickly. Although Taco in the Shroud next to 5 people is not able to pick up Nuli. This is just going to be the 1-for-0. But importantly, Dragon stacking has stopped for at least another 5 minutes. It is DCG getting themselves their first of the game in that Ocean Dragon.
Yep. And in the meantime, Cascada just TP's straight top. Unfortunately, did not have a lot of mana in that fight, so couldn't clean anything up. But can just TP back on the map and maybe even can even snag. Oh, there's a TP coming in from Rally, and I think Cascada with no flash is probably dead here. Although
the team is responding to this.
Yeah, he
does get the nice fear off. I don't think they're aware.
Yeah, maybe he's alright.
Okay, they definitely are. Blast Cone is going to get him out.
And realized just in time, very fortunately. In the meantime, though, that TP was committed and Taco just took a tower on the bot side. Taking a look at this fight, though, initial damage comes out from the DCG bot lane, while that TP flank from Taco here zones them. In the meantime, Cascada was getting chased off your screen there, and ran out of mana. Couldn't really clean anything up. Taco, he tries to do what he can, but I think without the extra damage from his mid laner, just kind of lacks the ability to finish anyone off. I don't think he had vision there of Char.
Yeah.
Or he probably would have taken him out. And it was, okay, Riftmaker into Storm Surge on Akali. So I haven't seen that before. Riftmaker, Leandry, obviously very common, and Storm Surge, Shadow Flame, very common. But this is something a little bit new. Has a bit of both.
Certainly does, but I'll allow him to cook. He's played well so far, minus maybe one mistake of not using that perfect execution. Oh, Renier is in a bad position.
Yeah, he's been found and unaltered.
Yeah, cease and desist will come through. Taco lands the shuriken, and from downtown will be able to pick that one up. He's also in the Shroud. He's going to secure the death here of Ching. Hostile takeover will mean that he clips Orca around the head with that passive, but ultimately it will not be too bad for the side of DCG. And it looks like now they're going to get started on this Baron. And I think importantly, with how this Baron is set up, it's actually not so hard to start, and you can pretty much run away from any direction, so it feels a lot safer than the Baron pits of the past.
Definitely. And I think here with the shielding from Hui as well as the Leandries, they can take this down fairly quickly. So we'll just be able to get themselves a 20-minute Baron. And they're going to be in a really good spot in order to clean up this game. I think now, especially Kalista and Ryze are going to have such a hard time dealing with this comp. I think, you know, Ryze is a champ that you wouldn't think needs to snowball, but he kind of does just because of his short range really locks him out of being able to deal damage in team fights against comps like this, you know, the Milio, the Lucian, and the Vi. Even the Hui as well. I mean, just all make it really, really hard for him to DPS. And then the Kalista, obviously, same sort of thing. You know, if it snowballs, can play very aggressive, but once you fall a little far behind, or even just on ahead, it becomes so difficult to actually output damage that you just kind of feel irrelevant.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we see pretty much wave after wave the amount of damage that Tide has been able to do and pressure he's been able to exert. And it's very similar, of course, to both Xun as well as... who was it? Feng in the earlier series. Just the power that Lucio in combination with either Milio or Nami does offer you. And I think it's still impressive, though, that Tide has been able to do this despite what happened to him early game.
Yeah.
Now, 665 is looking for a flank. I think it's a bit scary to be going under towers at this stage. Probably wait for Cascada to get to his tower as well as Taco to exert some pressure over the top side. Of course, this Ryze really is going to struggle to lane up against the Akali. Look, Regnier's in the area.
DCG really putting on the pressure, though. They have snowballed pretty significantly, as already it's up to a 3,000 gold Baron power play, and they've still got a minute and a half on it. Taco definitely undiveable up here, so nothing that can be found other than shoving this wave in.
Oh, we're going for it. Season Assist used. There's a lot of lockdown. Really does get a lot of health back, though, as it will be the hostile takeover committed. Damage still being found here by Cascada as he's burning down Char. Won't be able to find it, though, as Relia picks up 1 kill onto 665. Does get the reset on that World Ender. The CC coming through from this way is fantastic as Cascada shows that he can absolutely play mid lane.
Very nice combos there on the way. Net them a kill. And they, importantly, did manage to break all the inner towers. So they didn't manage to break the base, which means that West Point can hold on for a little bit longer, but just the amount of gold that all the inner towers give you is pretty absurd. And we'll get a replay of this. I think 665 spotted Relia looking a little out of position and decided to engage in him. The problem is, though, he has a Hex Drinker and the Hui ult did go wide. So they're missing a lot of key damage here to actually finish him off. And it looks like they're just out here, but I think Char took so much damage in the middle of this. And then Cascada, he flashed forward with the EE into, I think it was QQ. Yeah, EE into QQ, and the passive just finishes him off.
Yep, very well played. I think importantly too, if the Hui ult does connect there, then Relia won't have the movement speed to be able to chase down 665, so goes a whole lot different. But ultimately, he ended up in a 1-for-1. They're going to be able to pick up this dragon now. A lot of pressure exerted. Again, it's a 3,200 Baron power play, which you're not too upset about at all. Void Staff coming in third now for Taco. Very close to completing it. Looks like Cascada might be going for the Crypt Balloon. Tide going to get CC'd up, but he's going to turn it around. He's not scared.
Yeah, it did lose both his sums, though. Oh, Taco, he wants more.
Yeah, Chang is out of position. And by out of position, it means...
Oh, he's dead.
Anywhere within Akali's screen has gone down. Obviously, Crypt Balloon... No, sorry, Storm Surge is the correct item. Was able to take him out there.
Yeah, it did get finished off, and I wonder how easy is it for DC to actually break the base?
Oh,
well, apparently easy enough.
Char goes down. Season Assist will also be used here on Regnier's. 665 maybe regretting what he's done a little bit. Breath of Life coming through, trying to help him survive. Nice dodges here. We'll be able to get out. The Overload's not connecting there onto 665. And Noli is still yet to complete his Rod of Ages. Ult connects here from the Hui, and Cascada will pick himself up a killing spree. 3-0-2. On his first showing here in the mid lane in the PCS, and I mean, I'm pretty impressed.
Yeah, I think importantly, being able to break the base there without even having to use the Baron is very, very key, and shaves a lot of time off this game for the side of DCG. Are they worried about the game being too long? Not really, though. I think they're definitely outscaling in this one. It's becoming increasingly hard for Ryze and Kalista to deal any damage up against this comp. But Baron, only a minute and a half away, and with mid already broken, it means they can set their sights on those side lane towers. Third item is the Crypt Bloom there for Cascada. Did need a bit of matter resist, and I really like it. I think it's a good choice here.
Yep. And Taco did pick up his Void Staff as well, so massive power spikes coming through from both the APs as well as Lucian now. Completing his Navori will mean a lot more damage coming through, as well as a little bit more survivability, being that your Relentless Pursuit uptime is just that much higher.
A lot of pings onto this top lane river. I think West Point really trying to maintain some control, but it's pretty difficult, especially with how strong DCG are.
Rinye doesn't use the ultimate, but Tide certainly does a lot of damage to him, and he's going to get caught up now. Does commit the ultimate now. Is going to be able to pick himself up. One kill those. Taco comes in. That's a double. It's going to be a triple. Can it be more? He does land the shuriken. It is thus far a triple kill, and Hui does pick up the last. It's almost a clean ace here. Only 665 going down, but ultimately Cascada and Taco playing so phenomenally should lead to the first game being picked up now by DCG.
And look at that damage there from Taco. Really, I think this entire game was Taco's playground. He found a solo kill, almost found another, and then in every team fight really displayed that not only could he play the Akali, but he was very, very good on it. So massive game coming out of the DCG solo laners. I will say also credit to the DCG bot lane that managed to still find a lot of impact